on the topic of church hopper. Well, this announcement being made, the Cooper family has, for the first time since the Elevation days, made a decision to actually join a church, go through new member orientation, and get officially connected. And we are now active members of the Refreshing Center under the leadership of Bishop Casey Lewis. And just so you know, in December of 2004 was when I first gave my life to Christ as an adult. I was like 19 or 20. I think I was 20. And it was Bishop Annell Hartman there at the time. Many of us came from under that umbrella. Just be real. I grew up going to that church with the Wise family. Shout out to Mama Wise, Emma Wise. Everybody love the Wise family. Come on now. And, as it relates to church hopping, though, I'm going to say this because I had a conversation one time with a pastor of a church whenever I was, as we was moving around, trying to find what was next. Elevation Church Asheville was really a niche for an evangelist. For real. It was like the perfect church for an evangelist because we would bring people from prison, jail, whatever, out of treatment. They would go there. It would blow their mind. The culture, everything was just, I'm telling you, Elevation Church was lit. I miss it so much. But after that, it was just hard to find our niche. And I remember having a conversation with a pastor, and and as I was talking about how my family had went to different churches, a statement was made like, it seems like y'all have struggled. It was like, I don't know if he was trying to fire a shot or not, but he was talking about not being rooted. And so now I'm doing this message now that I am officially clergy or ordained, not saying that you got to be ordained to be a minister or to put the work in, because I've been doing it for a long time prior to March the 23rd when I got ordained by my big bro, Apostle Vince. But I'm going to say this, right? There are people I want to reach that's been church hoppers. The church hoppers are my friends. Especially y'all young folks that's been going church to church, trying to find what works best for you, what works best for your family, trying to find a culture that was more like Jesus than Pharisees. And I will say that my family has been to different churches. We have been church hoppers. But let me tell you one thing that stay consistent: our ministry. Since 2017, when my wife and I got together, we've been serving ever since then. And that's big facts. No cap, right? As the young folk would say. And we have put this work in the recovery community. In the recovery community, heavy, with purpose, on purpose. And we founded Friends of John Recovery Ministry because we love CR. We love Celebrate Recovery. We still love Celebrate Recovery. But it wasn't meeting what we needed culturally. And it also was more centered on a building. So for us, we be in these streets. We be in the jail, prison, treatment centers. You dig? Preaching at different churches, sharing not only the gospel, but sharing it in a way that is relatable to people who are in recovery from addiction and or mental health challenges. And so I'm doing this video as it relates to church hoppers. You've been church hopping, trying to find what works best for you. Maybe you got into it with some people at a certain church and got church hurt. Maybe you done experienced religious trauma. Maybe you a person that's done had some spiritual harm, and now the word spiritual make you, when somebody say something, say the word spiritual, it make you feel some type of way. Well, if that's something you can relate to, then I'm talking to you. Join us. Friends of John Recovery Ministry. We don't meet on Sundays. We are meeting at churches. We're meeting at treatment centers. We're meeting at peer living rooms. We're meeting. Shout out to First Baptist. They done open up the doors. And so if you are a church that's interested in starting the Friends of John meeting at your church, then get with us, because we here for it. And yes, church hopping was a requirement for us because we evangelists. Evangelists gather You dig? And then we deliver. We deliver to the, the preachers, teachers. You dig what I'm saying? And that's what needs to continue to happen. Arise, evangelist. And as we arise, my fellow evangelists, we got to continue to be intentional about locating those recovery-friendly churches for the people who we are recruiting. Because you see, these people are struggling these days. They're experiencing a lot of pain, a lot of agony, generational incarceration, generational trauma that hadn't been addressed. And so if we're going to share the gospel, we also got to understand that we're going to have to share the gospel with a trauma-informed lens. And if that went over your head, it's all good. This message ain't for you. I believe some of the people that failed to pass the torch, they gonna bust heaven wide open. You dig? Everybody ain't called to the same assignment. There was a time when I was upset with certain pastors. I was mad. Like, I ain't even gonna cap. I was mad at certain pastors because of how they treated me, how they didn't accept me. I was mad at certain churches because they wouldn't open their doors to partner for ministry. I was mad that people wanted to pimp my gifts. You dig? But then, after it was all said and done, it started to dawn on me like, look, that rejection was God's protection. If that door closed, it was what door that God closed, can't nobody open it. And what's for me is for me. God needed me to experience every single experience that I encountered. Needed me to experience every single one, because he knew that all of that was going to contribute to the launch of something that was going to meet the need for the community in a time such as this. So if you can relate to a lot of the things I said, I hope that you can join us. Join us, attend a meeting, communicate. We are recruiting more recovery warriors. Yes, and recovery ain't just about addiction. Some of y'all recovering from codependency. Some of y'all recovering from divorce. Some of y'all recovering from porn. Some of y'all recovering from promiscuity. Some of y'all recovering from gambling. Some of y'all recovering from people pleasing. It's different things, as we say in CR, hurts, hangups, and habits. So if you can relate and you need to build intentional community that you know ain't finna judge you, come on. Come on home, baby. It don't matter if you go to another church. It ain't about your church attendance. We are the church without walls. Hope to see y'all in these streets. Bless up.